Um, right now I'm using the AWS Amazon Linux. Okay, I'm creating one kind of a simple VM. Okay, I'm going to create one simple VM. This topic is going to be regarding AWS CLI. Okay, so now I have just launched the instances. HTTP is not required. Okay, so now I have created one EC2 instances. Okay, the EC2 instance is pending. I'm also creating one more EC2 instance. Okay, that EC2 instance is going to be Ubuntu one. So I'm going to show you the comparison between uh, Ubuntu and then Amazon Linux. You know what is the difference between these things? Okay, Ubuntu, AWS, CLI. Okay, so you don't need to create. You can create only one. Amazon Linux is enough for you. Okay, so I'm going to choose Ubuntu machine. Are you creating? Let me know once you create. How much time it will take to create? It will create faster, right? Just fatafat. Okay, you don't need to give any kind of a different options in anything. You can just create one basic EC2 instance with the default VPC. Okay, so now I have two instances. Okay, one is Amazon Linux, another one is Ubuntu. Why it's not been named? It's not been added. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to connect it, right? Okay, Ubuntu AWS CLI. Okay, and for first one I didn't give any name. I think this is the one. Amazon AWS CLI. Okay. So first I'm going to give uh, AWS CLI on Amazon Linux. Okay, so I'm going to connect this machine. Can we connect this machine, right? So EC2 user is the username. So whenever you're connecting to any kind of a Amazon Linux machine, the default user is going to be EC2 user. What is going to be the for Ubuntu? Huh? SSH. Just just Ubuntu. Okay. So that's why I told you to create a lot of. See, I cannot show you each and everything, right? So you have to create a lot of other instances, Windows instances. You have to practice many things. Okay. So now you have we have this one, right? So if everybody's logged in to this one, you created instance. Okay. Can you connect it? Connected. Okay, very good. Now, can you just type AWS and hyphen help? Okay, so AWS hyphen help. If you can give, you can see the command. Okay, so the command is already there. Okay, in AWS Amazon Linux. If you can give AWS and enter, also you can give you some kind of a version will be there. This thing will be there. So AWS hyphen version. If you can give AWS hyphen version, okay, maybe hyphen version maybe. Okay, AWS hyphen version. If you can give, it will show you the which version of the AWS CLI is installed. So you have to install the same AWS CLI in your Windows box also. Okay, so what is the advantage of installing AWS CLI in Windows machine or Linux machine or anything? Okay, so the basic difference between for example, like, I wanted to create one EC2 instance. Okay, so I don't need to go to console every time. Okay, I can create my EC2 instance from here only. Okay, or S3 bucket. We can also, S3, everybody knows S3 bucket, right? Okay, I'm going to create one simple S3 bucket. Okay, from this AWS CLI itself. You don't know what is S3 bucket, right? So that's not a problem, and you can just follow the instructions. Okay, how to create? Okay, now I have AWS CLI version is been created here. Okay, now I'm going to create. Go to Google. Okay, so nobody remember this commands, right? AWS S3 create bucket is the command. Okay, so if you have a doubts how to go to how to create from AWS CLI. Okay, you can just type like this. Okay, AWS one document will open. AWS S3 bucket creation. Okay, so here there are many kind of options will be there. Okay, AWS create bucket and all these things will be there. Okay, now we can go to some of the examples. Okay, so this is the example to create a bucket. Okay, AWS S3 API create bucket. Okay, create bucket, and bucket name is going to be, this is my bucket name. Bucket name is going to be, I'm giving any kind of, right. So my new bucket from AWS CLI is the bucket name. Okay, region you have to put US East 1 region. Okay, so whatever the region, hyphen region you have to put. Okay, it's not going to work. Why? I'm creating one S3 bucket. I have to tell them that which account I'm going to create. Okay, so this guy doesn't know. Okay, for which account, maybe my account or your account, which account I have to create S3 bucket. I don't know anything. Okay, for that we have to give some kind of a unique identifier codes. Okay, that unique identifier codes is called as a, those unique identifier code is called as a security credentials. Okay, so security credentials, you have to click on the security credential, go to your account name. Okay, so go to your account name here. Okay, so click on security credentials. Okay, it comes like this. Okay, it can tell you that access key. Okay, so access key is just like a, the key and lock, right. So whenever you need to create this access key to be able to communicate to your system. Okay, create access key. Now I'm just creating the access key. Okay, now I'm creating access key. Okay, now you can also download the CSV file. Okay, so if you can also have that access key and secret key over here. If you can show this one, you can have the access key and secret key, it is showing over here. You can also download the file. Okay, if you don't download it, okay, but if you can click on done. Okay, next time if you can go here. Okay, so you can only see the access key ID, but you don't see the secret key. Okay, so the secret key won't be visible. Now I want to, huh? That's why you need to download it. It's better to download. Yes, it's better to download the secret key. Okay, once you go back, you cannot see that key. Okay, now I've downloaded that access key. That is the reason why I don't download it. Okay, so I have downloaded the access key and secret key. Now I'm going to my EC2 instance. Okay, now you can configure by credentials by running AWS configure styling. Okay, so now you can see my screen, right? It's visible, right? You want me to zoom? Visible. Okay, so now AWS configure, it is showing. Now what I have to do, I have to give AWS configure. AWS configure. I think I made some mistake. AWS configure. So you can give AWS configure. It will ask you to tell you that which account you want to connect it. So we have to give whether which account. I wanted to give it to this account. So this access key, secret key has been created. What happened? It's not created. Huh? Okay. See, secret key is over here. It's showing over here. Okay. Now, what's access key now? Okay, what is my access key now? My access key is going to be this one. Okay, this is my access key. What is my secret key? Click on this one. This is my secret key. Okay, so the region, you can give any kind of a region. You know, what is the region I'm going to give? Region, if you want to see, you can see here, US East 1. Okay, so that's the region. I'm here, US East 1. Done. Okay, are you following? Okay, are you have you typed it? AWS configure. Okay, give US East 1 and then give none. Format is default format, whatever the format you want to see, that's fine. Now I'm going to give the same kind of command right now. So before that, I'm going to see whether is there any buckets created or not. I'm going to S3 bucket. Okay, so in the S3 bucket, I have these many buckets. Okay, I'm going to see these buckets are available or not. Okay, I'm going to see that AWS S3 LS. So there is a command called list bucket. Okay, so AWS S3 API list something. So if you don't know the command, right, so not everybody will be remembering this command. Okay, now I'm going to create it. Let's say it's creating a node. Okay, and a record signature, waiting for the callback. The operator signature was calculated with the, please check your key and then signing method. Okay, so okay, because that key is having some problem, so it was not showing properly. Okay, I'm going to create a new key. Okay, and I'm going to IAM. So whatever the previous key I was created, I'm going to, okay, I'm going to security credentials here. Here also you can see security credentials, right? If you find here security credentials, okay, and here create access key. So I cannot create more than one access keys. Okay, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to deactivate first, and then I'm going to delete this one. Okay. Now I'm going to create a new access key. Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Now you can also save it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just copying the access key from here. I'm going to configure it again. So how do you configure it? AWS configure, and I'm going to replace with a new access key. Okay. Now I'm giving a new access key, and then secret key is going to be, I'm going to copy the new secret key. Okay, the secret key looks like this. Okay, and but don't share this access key secret key with anybody. Okay, so I'm giving this one. Okay, now we'll see if this command is working or not. Now see, it's telling that I have 4 S3 buckets is in my account. Okay, the batch 4. Okay, so these 4 S3 bucket I have is in my account. This is what it's telling. So what is done now? It is going, see, batch 4, all these kind of buckets I have in my account. Now I want to create one new bucket. Okay, so now I want to create one new bucket. Okay, and this is the command which I got it from internet. Okay, AWS S3 create bucket name is going to be this one. Okay, so now the location, the bucket CLI is being created. That's what it's telling. Okay, so now we'll see. First of all, before I'm refreshing it, I'm going and seeing it. This bucket is not available. Okay, let's see if this is available or not. What's the one? This one, right? Okay, AWS CLI bucket is not created. Okay, so if I go to search with this one, so this is the bucket which is created by AWS CLI. Similarly, you can also create the EC2 instances. Okay, anything from this AWS CLI itself. You don't need to go to Amazon console itself. Everything you can do from your CLI. Okay, that's what called as AWS CLI. You can also, there is a option called Terraform. Okay, you'll be learning Terraform also. When you're learning Terraform, you'll be learning that without going to console itself, how can you create multiple things? Okay, now I'm telling. Okay, can you create some 100 buckets with a different bucket name? Okay, so if you want to create a bucket, and what you have to go, you have to go and you have to do everything. Okay, now in the smarter way, what you can do, you can prepare a command. You can just change the name. The different, what I'm telling is, you go to different regions, create 10 bucket, for example. What you can do in the smarter way.
Or you can use that JSON file and create some code.
Yeah, you can use this JSON file or anything. You can just copy this command. You can change the file name and the region name, and then go and boom, it is in the single minute, everything will be installed and it will be kept ready. Okay, so this is what the advantage of AWS CLI. So the reason why I created a Ubuntu machine. Okay, so Ubuntu machine, if you can connect to the Ubuntu machine, this is the Ubuntu. Okay, so if you connect to the Ubuntu machine, AWS CLI won't be installed by default, because in Amazon the AWS CLI is already been there. That's why you should not be getting confused. Okay, so AWS CLI is not already been there. Okay, how to install AWS CLI? Linux. Okay, AWS CLI. It's a simple commands. Okay, so Linux, if you can go. Okay, yum remove AWS CLI, something like that. Okay, so you can do like this, and then you can install. You can also install like a apt install. Uh, apt-get. Okay, for Ubuntu you have to use apt-get install AWS CLI. Okay, so if you can go here, somebody might have been mentioned that. Okay, so you can do like this one also. Okay, sudo snap install AWS CLI. Okay, so there are different ways we can install AWS CLI. So now I'm in Ubuntu. If you can give AWS, see, the AWS is not found. Here it is telling there are different ways. Okay, the snap install AWS CLI. That itself is giving me recommendation. Okay, so apt sudo apt install AWS CLI. Okay, version 4, all this. So I'm going to give any one of this one. Okay, I'm going to give sudo apt install AWS CLI as no installation candidate. It's telling like that. Okay, so now let's do sudo snap install AWS. Okay, so now, okay, this is not okay, so it's telling that no package AWS CLI has been there in this machine. Okay, now we need to add the package first. So anywhere, if you can go here, right? So we need to add the packages first. So for in order to install this one, you can just download one package. Okay, if you follow this one, you can just Linux. Okay, just blindly follow this one. You don't need to. You don't need to. Remember all these things. It's going to be downloading and unzipping. Okay. Now it's telling that AWO installed with apt-get install. Okay, now after I downloaded this machine, I'm giving that apt-get install AWS CLI that can be installed. Okay, now if you can give AWS, why it is not installed?
I think you have to copy paste all three together.
No, I think I have not installed AWS dot slash config. Snap. Okay, now it's uninstalling actually. Unzipping. See, you don't need to remember all these kind of commands. Okay, you just go and copy, and then it should automatically should work. But otherwise, if you wanted to work on it, you can use AWS Amazon Linux. That's the best one. Instead of you're installing all the things and everything, you can go to AWS Linux, because this is I'm just showing because not all the machine will be having the AWS CLI. Tomorrow you should not be coming and saying that, sir, this machine I'm trying this AWS config is not working. Why it's not working? Because you have not installed AWS CLI on this machine. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so it will be installing. I don't know how much time it's creating and all these things. This is just telling. So you don't need to do all these things. You can go to AWS CLI, AWS Linux machine, and it's already been everything is configured. You go and give you credentials, and then you can just install it. And the best practice is that after you finish with your security credentials, because the session is recording, it is better to go and delete it. Why? Why?
You know, the storage.
See, anybody can exploit your.
Nobody can access.
Yeah, nobody can access your account without your permission. Anybody can go and create some 100 machines. Okay, if anybody have this account details, anybody can go and create some 100 instances in your account, through AWS CLI. Who will pay? You have to pay, right? Okay,
How
so
can we do all this from the CMD?
yeah, you can do anything from CMD. CMD you can do command line interface. You can do anything. Okay, create a bucket, create load balancer, create auto scaling group. Everything you can do from AWS CLI. Okay, so that is the advantage. Okay, any questions?